Hello, everybody.
Jerel Su, can you unmute and state your name for the record? Okay.
Jerel Su.
Okay, thank you. Now calling 22S00621 as well as 24FB1253. These are the state of Michigan versus Jerel Su, who just stated his name for the record. Thank you. And today is the date and time set for arraignments in these matters. What I am seeing is that bench warrants issued for your arrest in each of these on February 28th of 2025. And that was for failure to appear. It looks like you were scheduled for a final settlement conference in the matter ending in 1253. And you were set for a show cause hearing in the matter ending in 0621. So, Attorney Moten.
Ashley Moten, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Sewell, who has presented himself today. So we request a personal bond.
Okay, thank you. And I will note too, for the record, it looks as though Mr. Sewell, you have an attorney appointed, David Burgess.
Yes, I still haven't talked to this guy.
Okay. So I will note just so that you are aware then that we'll have the public defender represent you for the purposes of the arraignment today. But you have this attorney Burgess. I've got a phone number here for him. If you want me to put it in the chat, I can do that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And I should note too that if you got the notice of hearing for today, that his contact information is on that as well. All right. But
Okay.
you've got it in the chat now if you're able to screenshot it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So at this time, then, let's see.
Oh, I do see that there is an active warrant for 1253. We request that the warrant is recalled.
Warrants on both matters, it looks like. So, Mr. Sewell, attendance appears to have been somewhat of a problem for you. If I set you for a pretrial in front of the judge.
I mean, I'm here. So, it's like I'm trying to get this stuff over with. It's just sometimes I got a lot going on with all this court stuff, with a lot of traffic and stuff. So it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. But I'll try my best. I'm here today to try to resolve this, to get this out the way.
Okay. And I do see, it looks like we have a phone number for you ending in 9756.
No.
Okay. So that is from January. I don't know if we've got a
Oh,
more
no,
recent
sorry,
one
that
at this
is it. Sorry, because I had
Okay.
switched my number. 9756, yeah.
Okay. So keep your information updated with the court. You're supposed to be doing that anyway, but particularly if you're getting text message reminders, we can only send you text message reminders if we have a good phone number for you. Okay?
Yeah.
What I will do.
So this
And
court
this is-
date I was actually at, but I was at work, man. So it like how it happened was I was at work.
Okay.
I was trying to stay on it, and
Look,
it just went.
okay. So I can appreciate there's any number of reasons why a failure to appear happens. Okay.
Yeah.
I will recall the bench warrants this time. However, I am fairly confident that if you fail to appear for the next court date I set for you, the judge is going to have some words for me, and I will be much less likely to recall a bench warrant for you again. Okay? So, we will try this one more time. And you should reach out to that attorney As I said, I put the phone number in the chat.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the date, man. I'm gonna set multiple like reminders, cause yeah.
Please do. So these are both. April 17th. That's going to be a pre-trial conference date. That will be at 9 in the morning over Zoom in front of the judge. So April 17th, 9 a.m. in front of the judge over Zoom. You've got a good phone number. There's a tablet in the lobby at the township if you need to appear that way. If for some reason your phone isn't working at that point, all right?
Yeah, I'm well, as you were speaking, I just said like multiple things. So yeah, only way I would probably forget if I lose my phone.
Okay. Well, if you lose your phone, you know you've got a court date coming up. You know it's the 14B district court. Call
Yeah.
the court, call the public defender's office, walk to the 14B district court or the public defender's office. Okay. You know you've got a date coming up. Do not miss this court date or
you said
any
the
of the other
14th?
ones. What was that?
You said the 14th?
It is April 17th.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. 9 in the morning. Okay.
And it just sounded like you said the 14th. I'm like, okay.
Nope. I said 14B district court. So if you have to, you can walk to the 14B district court. Just show up for court. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you. So, Attorney Moten, do you have anything that you want to say?
Nope, we confirmed the phone number ending in 9756, right? Mr. Sewell?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you a call this week.
Well, I will
Thank you.
point out as well, it seems that the public defender's office withdrew from his case and he has an attorney appointed. That's this Mr. Burgess. So I don't know if you can help facilitate that at all, but
For some reason, we're still listed on the 621 case. So I'll
Okay.
figure that out before I call him.
okay. Okay, then. Mr. Sewell. You've got your next court date. When is it?
The 17th of April.
Correct. At 9 in the morning. So.
I'll be there just because of you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, you are free to sign out of Zoom, and we will see you on the 17th.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Daris Hatcher.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Hatcher does appear. He is on the Zoom call. That will be a negotiated plea today.
All right, Mr. Hatcher, where are you? All right, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Sir, you're before the court on 2021 CR 08219. Keontae Daris Hatcher, represented by Lister Holton Dennis. Mr. Owen Lynch is your attorney. You're before the court for criminal trespass, count 1, hit and run accident, count 2, wrong side of the road, count 3, obstruction of an officer, count 4, reckless driving, count 5, fleeing from police, count 6, and stop or yield sign violation, count 7. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plea to the offenses before the court?
Judge, she's going to enter guilty pleas today.
2.
Counts 1 through 7.
Okay. All right, so by entering a plea of guilty to counts 1 through 7, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself for presenting a testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Well, yes, Your Honor.
Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Your Honor, one moment. If you give me a few minutes, Your Honor, please. Thank you. Your Honor, thank you for your patience. After looking into this situation further, I believe that this might be a felony, given we have the reckless driving and the fleeing. However, I need to just do a little bit more research to see. I know this happened in 2021, so I need to just go back to the rule to see if at the time of the incident, this would have been considered a felony, because if so, then we might need to transfer this case up. So it's asking for a little bit more time and do a little more research into this, just to make sure.
Okay, but
we
y'all
have the
got a
proper
negotiated plea that was, didn't y'all get a plea? Didn't y'all negotiate this?
We
Why-
did, Your
why we-
Honor.
Why we didn't figure that out before we negotiated this?
And yes,
Just a-
ma'am, I do understand. Yes, I do understand, Your Honor. It was just brought to my attention. So just asking the court for a few more, just some time to go to
No,
research this to make sure
No.
that,
no.
okay. Not a problem, Your Honor. I will proceed forward as is. As far as the factual basis, on or about May 17th of 2021, Deputy C. Wright of the Clayton County Sheriff's Office heard Deputy Thompson attempting to initiate a traffic stop via radio on the defendant's vehicle. During that, on that incident, Deputy Thomas observed the defendant changing lanes rapidly at a high rate of speed. The defendant was also observed fleeing from Deputy Thompson on Terra Boulevard north at Flicker Road while Officer Wright was traveling on Terra Boulevard south of Flicker Road. Officer Wright attempted to activate emergency equipment, and the defendant drove through the center median in front of his patrol unit and drove north in the southbound lanes on Terra Boulevard. The defendant proceeded to turn left onto Flicker Road. Deputy Thompson proceeded to pursue after the defendant. The defendant failed to yield to Officer Wright's emergency equipment. At that time, the defendant drove through several stop signs while fleeing from Officer Wright in his vehicle at a high rate of speed. The defendant lost control of his vehicle when his vehicle hit the driveway of 10111 Commons Way, went airborne through the yard and landed on Commons Court. Officer Wright observed the defendant jump out of the vehicle while it was still in motion and fled the scene on foot toward the rear of 10118 Commons Court. At that time, Officer Wright observed the defendant exit the driver's side door. The vehicle then struck and completely damaged the entire mailbox of 10118 Commons Court and came to a stop in the bushes located on the corner of 10118 Commons Court. At that time, the defendant was captured shortly after he fled the scene. The defendant was captured at 10297 Hampton Glen. And Your Honor, those are the facts of the case. The incident did occur in Clayton County, Georgia. Your Honor, for count one, a fine of $100. For count two, the hit and run, 12 months probation, a fine of $300 and 40 hours of community service. For count three, a fine of $100. For count 4, a fine of $300. For count 5, a fine of $300. For count 6, a fine of $1,000, and for count 7, a fine of $100.
All right, how many consecutives am I gonna have to do, Mr. Lynch, for him to be able to pay this?
I guess that I'm not, if it's a total, it's a large amount, Judge.
It's a very large amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $11, $2,100 without surcharges. $2,100 times 30%, just as a round number, $2,730. So we're
Mr.
looking at almost $3,000.
Can you get that paid within 1 year?
And I apologize for interrupting the court. I believe for count 6, there is statutory minimums for that pre-June 2023, which requires, and I'm not sure if there was any jail time done prior, but I believe specifically for count 6, if the defendant intends on pleading to count 6, it will require a statutory minimum of some jail time and a fine.
How much jail time, Ms. Ponder?
And it's my understanding, Your Honor, June 2023, it's 10 days. And
All right.
also the fine minimum is 500.
Okay, well, he's got $1,000 fine, so the 10 days credit for time served. All right, so let's talk about these fines. Mr. Hatcher, what you doing with your life now, sir?
Right now I attend UEI. I'm trying to get my HVAC certification, and like when I'm not at school, I'm cutting hair. So
Okay, so you know how to hustle. That's my question. Because, folk who don't know how to hustle, they're going to always be running behind in this world. I firmly believe in the hustle, the legal hustle. So HVAC and cutting hair, you can get this knocked out. I don't know if you can do it in a year because you're still in school. If you were working full time, I would say all day, no problem. But you're still in school, which I applaud that because I've paid for HVAC and I know how much HVAC people make. And we got a good friend who's always looking for folk. But the problem is once people learn it, they always want to go out on their own. And so it's a good job, good business. You got to have a good business mind, Mr. Hatcher. And if you have people that you work with, if you don't disappoint them, they will continue to send you business and to continue to use your business. You understand that? So be business minded. Don't just be lackadaisical, get the hook up, all of that. Be a businessman. If that's what you're going to do, be a businessman.
Yes.
Now, back here in 2021, 2020, when this all happened, you ain't have nothing going on, did you?
No, I just graduated from high school. I had got my first car. I was young. Looking back on that situation, I definitely regret what I did. But I learned from that lesson. I never put myself in that type of situation again. I've had a child since that incident. Got married since that incident. So I just feel like, it's been 4 years ago. I'm a changed person. I was,
I get that. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna I'm gonna accept your plea of guilty to count 1, count 2, count 3, count 4, count 5, count 6, count 7. Now we're gonna on count 1, we'll run concurrent with count 2. That's a $100 fine. Count 2 is 12 months probation, a fine in the amount of $300 and 40 hours of community service. Count 3 is a $100 fine. Count 4 is a $200 fine. They will run concurrent with count 1. Count 6 is a $300 fine. Sorry, that's count 5. Count 5 is a $300 fine. Count 6 is 12 months to serve 10 days. I'll give you credit for time served. Balance will be probated to pay a fine in the amount of $1,000. And then count 7 is a $100 fine. So count 5, 6, and 7 will run concurrent with each other. And then count 6 will run consecutive to count 2. So that should give you 24 months to pay all of the fines and fees, okay?
And Your Honor, for count 4, did you have $300 for count 4?
I believe, yeah, I did say that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Do I have
Okay.
300? Yeah. Do I have $300? I'm sorry, I may have said 200 because my writing looked kind of goofy. Let's see. If you pay $150 a month, you can knock that out in 20 months. If you pay more than that, so your minimum is going to be $150 a month. That's the minimum that you are required to pay for probation. You understand? Okay, so you can pay more. If you get some lump sums, I would throw that in there and start paying more and pay it down quicker, because the quicker you get it paid off, then I will, if you get it all paid off in the whatever time, then your probation will terminate. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, because I'm willing to work with you. I understand this was 4 years ago. You have changed since then. I don't have anything else listed on my calendar for you, and you've gotten married, got a child, going into business, got another business. Let me just tell you, that's a successful husband and father. Somebody who knows how to bring in multiple streams of income. I wish everybody knew that. You can't just be dependent upon one thing. We clear?
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
And as long as you got skills, barbering and HVAC, as long as you got skills, you ain't gonna never go hungry. So just remember that. All right. So Ms. Wright, I know that was confusing, so I'm gonna say it again. Counts 1, 2, and 3 will run run concurrent. Counts 4, 5, 6, and 7 will run concurrent, and then count 6 will run concurrent to count 2.
It's a consecutive count 2. Count 6 should be consecutive, Judge. to
I'm
count
sorry,
2.
count 6 will run consecutive to count 2. All right, is that acceptable, Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Judge. We
But
would
if
ask.
you get it all paid off beforehand, your probation can terminate. All right?
Yeah,
All right, so Mr. Hatcher, I wish you well. What I'm gonna do now is put you in a breakout room with the probation expert, Ms. James. Ms. James is gonna explain anything that you need to know about probation. So you have to report as long as you're on probation, which means that you wanna pay these off as quick as you can so you don't have to report. But with pay-only probation, the 2 things you need to do are pay and report. You understand? Pay and report. Those are the only 2 things. And you are paying a minimum of $150 a month. All right. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Ms. James. Ask her any questions that you might have regarding probation, and she can answer any of those questions for you. But also realize that the quickest way to get rearrested or to have problems is to not report for probation. If you're having any kind of trouble, talk to your probation officer. They are very compassionate people who help their people successfully complete probation. Okay, so don't run from them, because if they figure like they can help you and all they need to do is change a few things or tweak a few things, they'll talk to us about it. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. I appreciate that greatly.
All right, so I'm going to put you in the breakout room with Ms. James. You do not have to come back to this room when you're finished. You can just go ahead and get started on whatever you all talk about. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Breakout. You're welcome. Breakout room number 5.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.